This would also help that by establishing a visitor or a log for the GM, anyone that goes in there, director or resident, would sign time, date entered, reason for coming in, and when they left. Just so at any given time, we can see the workload and the load that the GM has coming in there, as well as help us stay accountable for ourselves and our own dealings with the GM. So this is where I think my actual motion is. I move that in the interest of transparency and accountability that the board adopt the board member logbook to be kept on the front counter of the business office, and then be mandated for use by any board member or other visitor entering the office to visit the GM beyond the lobby, and at any time a board member meets with the GM off-site.
I'll second that.
That's different than what you have here.
Yes, I changed it.
Where did you change it?
He added after board member or other.
Right. But people who read this brought up that it should be for anybody visiting the GM, just to make sure that we keep it would help us keep a bean count basically of his workload and how many people are visiting him on a daily basis.
So this is no longer called a board log motion, it is called a.
Visitor log motion.
Yeah, you would probably add that to some other locations.
Well, I would, yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say.
I'm wide open for discussion on that.
So we got a motion and a second. Mike, what do you think about this one?
I'd like to discuss it a little further, look into it a little more. It just seems like something brand new, so we ought to discuss it a little bit more, I do believe.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with him, and I also think that this, you know, I understand, I applaud the attempt for this, but unfortunately, I don't think it's forceful. As far as
Enforceable, is that what
yeah,
you said?
enforceable. Sorry,
That's-
because anybody could just walk right past that logbook. You know, I mean, like for instance, maybe the general manager sends an email out, or you know, it's the general manager that fills this logbook and has the person sign it or something. I mean, it just honestly, I can honestly see this as where you're walking in there, you have this logbook, and you're like, nope, and you just keep on walking.
I don't think the office staff would allow, Kelly, you wouldn't allow just someone to barge past the front door and
We
go back.
try to keep that from happening. We actually have a sign to go on that half the flapping door that says employees only beyond this point. We would like to have people coming for committee meetings use the side doors and those kind of things, but it's a new process. So while we do attempt to catch people, you know, it's whether we can enforce it 100% of the time. The other thing, if it's somebody coming to visit the general manager, somebody could come in to sign a check and say, oh, is Ken here? They didn't sign the log when they come in. So is it going to be a general who's coming to the office, or is it specifically for who's seeing the general manager?
Yeah, so I think we do need to have a little bit more of a discussion on this.
I'm probably the biggest violator of it all, because I'm up there either
Signing
signing the check
checks,
or coming
'cause
in
you're
to see
around.
Kelly about, let me give you some playground equipment.
Yeah.
I've had her researching what we paid for the playground equipment and for parts. And if I'm there, I stop in and say something to Ken. Even sitting down, he was very interested in me talking about my experiences in Vietnam. And, it was nothing about harbor business, it was
But see,
personal
that's what
stuff.
the law would help.
Or what type of pills are you taking, to handle the prostate issues you get when you get older. But in any case, I mean, it's just, you're in there and it's not anything underhanded going on, it's just a.
But if he's getting paid, we're having a long, drawn-out conversation about his
Ma'am, please run along.
prostate.
They're not
So
long.
that should be long.
You're out of order.
Yes,
All right.
I agree. If you're working, you're working.
Yes.
Can we get some-
When I go back to work.
I don't see the need for it personally, it seems cumbersome.
I'm personally in favor of it, but I want it to be that clear.
Keep it simple.
Vote on this, you read it, you want
Well, I mean, if it's not gonna pass, I don't think we have support for it now. You can call for the vote now, I'll rewrite and bring it back.
to- okay.
No, I,
Right now, the reason I'm doing this is because the GM has made a complaint. He's made a request. Let's not say.
okay, if you amend your motion to include the police station, I don't
Did in the past raise that concern.
Do you feel
That
there's
was
a
not
need for
done
it?
recently, and most of the times, they do come back and tell me, Mr. Winters is here, and you see him, or Mr. Shepherd, or ever which one it is. I think the majority of the time, they ask permission to come see me.
But I don't think that's the issue he's talking about. I think what they want is to know who's in there when, not matter whether they walk by that door or not, but how many times was Chip Cummins in there this week, or Mike Shepherd, or something like that. I think that's.
If you want that done, I can do that. When they come in my office, I'll refer.
Well, I think it's better to establish this. Bob, you have anything you want to say on this?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, especially for the directors to do some of the stuff that's going on lately.
Yeah, I agree.
But it'll mitigate somebody, bending his ear too much to,
Okay.
understand?
I understand. All right, so I don't think it's got support right now. You want to rewrite it with some of the comments that you got?
Sure, absolutely.
So you.
I withdraw.
Okay. All right. And last one is the AHPD resolution?
Yes. So basically, to help put a lot of this to rest, a motion is something that we do normally. A resolution actually gets into the bylaws. It's listed in there so it can be easily referenced, and so that's why this needs to be a resolution. I'm thinking I'd like to try this on three separate parts, if that's okay. Can we do that, Chip? Okay. So the first part is, be it resolved that any action of the board of directors to make any substantial or fundamental changes in the funding, staffing, organization, or status of the Quiet Harbor Police Department, to include the dissolution of any police department position, or elimination of the HPD, must first be approved by a majority vote of the board of directors and confirmed by quorum vote of the AHPOA membership.
Okay, is there a second on that? Okay, I'm going to second this one for discussion. I have no problem with this motion as long as it doesn't succeed this board of directors. I don't want to tie another board of directors' hands should they need to have the need to do something. So if it were to say any action of the board of directors whose term ends October 26th. Okay, do you hear where I'm going? I don't want to tie this down to 5 years from now when the board has to actually take action.
So in 5 years from now, they do want to eliminate the police department
For whatever reason, let's say.
and remove
financial-
the chief's position.
For whatever reason, I just don't think it's right to retire.
Then they need to be honest with the
future board's
community and
hands.
get it voted.
Everything that I've told everybody that's asked me about this is that this board will not eliminate the police. And I don't believe they will. But I don't really want to tie another board's hands making that decision.
But your terms are not the same.
So I'm gonna hold the resolution as it stands.
Okay, is there a second?
You just a second.
Oh, I did second, okay. Any other discussion? Sorry, I did. Any other discussion, Mr. Shepherd?
No, sir.
Ms. Sullivan?
Well, I have a couple of things here where it says to make any substantial or fundamental changes in funding. Wouldn't this interfere with setting a budget for fiscal year? Okay, so no. Second thing is about the fact that, I mean, I understand that the residents want to be able to decide on something like this, but I believe that the board can have town hall meetings and get feedback, that we should not necessarily be held hostage to having to get a vote by the majority of membership in order to perform the duties of the board of directors. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to represent you, okay? That's why you're supposed to contact us.
don't believe
you.
Sir, please.
Simply because of this, you don't believe me? You don't believe the fact that I don't want to get rid of the police department? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah. So you don't believe that I don't want to get rid of that police department? I work for that police department. I'm an APV. Why would I want to get rid of it? Okay? But I agree, we should not, our hands should not be held hostage.
to the
Mr. Reeser.
wants of who you represent.
I don't see where we need any changes at all. I do not want to get rid of the police department.
Then vote on
Chief
it.
knows I'm the former chief of police. I don't know what the hell we do without the police department. But I don't think that we need to make any changes in the way people are hired or fired. It's all, the police chief worked for that man sitting over there. He does not work for this board of directors. We don't, as far as I know, we can't tell him to fire the chief of police.
No, we just eliminate the position.
And we can't,
Thank you very much.
there's no way in hell that we're gonna eliminate the position of the chief of police. So I really don't see the need for any of this that's over.
Mr. Stevens?
I just think that's basically a knee-jerk reaction to all this disinformation that's been put out, and I'm still supporting it.
Okay. All right,
And
all in
reassure
favor?
us.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that just means the other three are gonna fail as well, so I'm not gonna waste your time on it.
Okay, so you're not gonna make these other two motions?
I am not.
Okay.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Comments at the end.
These are the comments that are noted.
All right, I move we go into executive
Oh, what
session.
ignites
Discuss-
us is when you
Oh, no.
read this
Website.
bullshit.
The website.
I think from our earlier discussion, Deb is gonna put a fire in the britches of somebody to get our website updated, so I'll go with.
I move we go into executive session. Discuss write-off, member request, team evaluation, personnel matters.
Yes,
Homeowner
yes.
complaint.
Second motion.
All in favor? We already did that. We combined it with number I.